If you are a holder of the Kronos token, pay attention because big news hit yesterday as Crypto.com has partnered with the Trump family and their media company to bring ETFs to the Crypto.com platform, which was part of their roadmap. What does this partnership mean? How did the Kronos token react? And what can we expect from Crow and Crypto.com moving forward? We'll have that conversation. Also, we got Magic Internet Money joining us to break down the charts. We'll see what his thesis is for Bitcoin this week. I know last week, things were looking a lot more bearish, but seeing as Bitcoin bounced from that pivotal $86,000 level and is currently trading above 87K, this could mean that that structure has changed and we are back to upward momentum for the price of BTC. What is Michael Saylor doing? Also, speaking of Michael Saylor, there's a lot of copycats running around here. More companies are starting to adopt the Michael Saylor strategy for adopting Bitcoin. Which one is a new one, and are we going to see this trend continue? We have that and much, much more in today's episode of Sin City Crypto. Let's go.
Hola! It's your boy, Big Rob, back in the house. Welcome to Sin City Fun Shirt Crypto. If it's your first time checking us out, we're the entertainment-focused cryptocurrency channel where we take old, boring, stale information, price predictions, wrap that whole thing up in a fun and Las Vegas, Elvis, win money, go to the strip club kind of way. Man, you know what? I just feel so damn jubilated right now. And why? Because Bitcoin has clearly said bye-bye to 70,000 and we are back. Jubilated. That's right.
So, are these grandpa's curtains? Because we know grandma's curtains are like that tan brownish color. Is this grandpa's curtains? Grandpa had a divorce.
Sofa. It's not a curtain. It's a sofa cover.
Oh.
Yeah, I know your hamburglar ass ain't with your purple shirt.
All right. Let's kick this thing off here, guys. All right. So big news dropped yesterday. Trump Media and Crypto.com are launching crypto ETFs and ETPs, what they call them in Europe, exchange-traded products. Same thing. Good news for investors. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. We'll take a look at the Kronos chart, what that did. All right. So let's break this down, and we'll take a look at the Crypto.com roadmap. So the company has teamed up with Crypto.com, and the company referring to Trump Media, to launch a series of exchange-traded funds and exchange-traded products, ETPs. These funds won't just focus on crypto giants like Bitcoin and Crypto.com token. They'll also include investments in key U.S. industries like energy. With the launch expected later this year, pending regulatory approval, this partnership signals a major step into the investment space. Crypto.com will provide the technology, custody services, and crypto supply for these funds. These funds are expected to be available worldwide, including in the US, Europe, and Asia through established brokerage platforms. TMTG, so Truth Media, what the TG, I forget what that stands for. Anyways, the CEO, Devin Nunes, he expressed enthusiasm. He also emphasized that these funds aim to support American businesses, innovative technology, and the crypto industry without political influence. Sure, without political influence, although literally the company you're working with is the President Trump. Anyways, So this was Crypto.com's roadmap, okay? Now, I share this in a video I did on Crow earlier this year, okay? So this was their roadmap, right? This is a pretty robust roadmap. So it goes through Q4 of this year. And you look at, they're expanding outside of just crypto, okay? So they wanted to expand in crypto, more fiat on and off ramps, rewards on Bitcoin, institutional custody. They want their own stable coin on Crypto.com. And then the stocks, banking, and cards for the stocks, stock and ETF trading, and sports contract trading. Looks like those have been accomplished. And then they also have, again, banking, yield on cash, and then
sports contract trading. Is that what, sports betting?
I'm
Probably,
assuming,
yeah.
Anyways, you might be wondering, well, how did Kronos react? Well, fairly well. We had a large spike in price on the daily, but we met resistance at our 200-day moving average ribbon But this was a symmetrical triangle setup that we've had on here, which typically is 50-50. Of course, obviously broke to the upside with volume, increasing volume at that. But we're seeing, again, a little bit of resistance right at that 200-day moving average. We'll get a more in-depth breakdown. I did ask Magic to have this ready to go for the Crow token. But chart aside, the news, the partnership.
Been telling you guys.
You've
Been
been
telling you.
Is it going to work with Trump?
No, I've been telling you that crypto.com, the Crow token, it's where to be at, man. Did I know that Donald Trump was going to work with crypto.com? No. However, the amount of publicity that FTX got during its last bull run, where it had Tom Brady naming rights for, arenas, they had sponsorships for UFC, for Formula One, and all kinds of different sports teams. So it's pretty obvious that they were going to be front and center making headlines. And so not surprised to see that, well, one, when you just when you do a massive marketing blitz where you're pretty much just in front of everyone, when it's time to set up an account and buy some crypto, you're going to just go with the household name. Just like if you want a soda and you're thirsty and you're tired of drinking that water, you're probably going to pick up a Coca-Cola. Because why? You've seen tons of commercials for those over and over and over and over and over again. Same thing with Nike, same thing with all the big companies. And so the same subliminal messages are being sent out to you via advertising from crypto.com. So I don't see any reason that crypto.com wouldn't be the go-to exchange. They got more marketing than Coinbase. Now,
They spend so much money on marketing. It's ridiculous.
but I mean, you saw how fast FTX blew up with marketing last bull market.
Yeah,
Then
but-
literally blew up afterwards. But either way, you see the effect or the power of marketing, especially in crypto. I mean, we know that like as soon as there's some small project that wants to get some attention, they go all out on media and promotion. And then you get every YouTuber talking about it, minus us. And, then that's part of marketing. That's what gets you those big pumps. Same thing with crypto.com. But the thing is their pumps or marketing is not acute and it's not like one-off. And so they're just constantly attacking, right? And then basically, not surprised big headlines came out. That's where I'm at.
Look, so with the users they have, the roadmap they have, it's a very robust roadmap. We know they're not afraid to spend money. My dad used to always say, you ever wonder why McDonald's, they literally have a franchise at every single corner, but they still decide to do ads and advertising on TV. Why? Is that what you said? That subliminal kind of keeping your mind. And so crypto.com, I think they're ranked outside the top 3. They're in the top 3 in the US. Globally, though, that is where they want to make their play because this partnership is looking to expand outside of just the United States, again, to Europe and Asia. And so could crypto.com make a run for Binance? And if they do, what is the best way for you watching to be able to monetize on that and make money? The obvious answer would be the Kronos token. It's supported by crypto.com. I know it's its own thing. It's got its own ecosystem. But if you got the support, just like BNB token, right, has the support from the largest financial institution, well, not financial, but crypto exchange in the world, the largest by far. And we're all bullish on it. And it's got what's the market cap of BNB right now, Robin? It is $90 billion. Where's Kronos at? What is the market cap of Kronos? Can you look it up real quick? It is it's $3 billion. So what is that? A 30x? A 30x. So we can assume if crypto.com is successful in their endeavor to become the world's largest crypto exchange, if we put a $90 billion valuation on BNB, why can't we do the same for Kronos? And so you're looking at a project that's sitting at a $3 billion market cap, and it's got a potential of 30xing. Now, will it get to a 30x? I don't know. Will crypto.com be the number 1 exchange? I don't know. But is it worth the reward for the risk? I think it is. That's kind of where I'm looking at it. What about you?
It was a 7x away from all-time high currently, even after the big pump it's had. So recently it was at 8 cents. So you could argue that not long ago it was a 10x away from all-time highs. It's already made a pretty big move, right? It went from 7-8 cents to 10 cents. So very, very strong movement. Also, can we talk about Donald Trump and his stable coin? Obviously, probably going to.
There you go, jumping around again. Jesus, man, I got everything just laid out, bro. Fine, we can talk.
My boy Donald, what's up, man? Launching a stable coin. World Liberty Finance announces USD1 without governance voting.
Well, because they hold all the tokens themselves. So
Good job.
Governance vote wouldn't matter.
Executive branch and also the we don't give a damn branch on the DeFi side.
Dude is
So it's obvious crypto.com is going to probably have something to do with this, right?
Oh yeah.
The news dropped at the same time.
You
right?
better believe the conversation. Crypto.com wants a stable coin.
News dropped at the same time,
Yeah.
bro.
It's I don't believe in coincidence. For me, I look at in their roadmap, and literally we can go back to the roadmap. It says they want a stable coin. Where did that go? Crypto.com stable coin. We decided to adopt the USD1 stablecoin put out by World Liberty Finance, blah, 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 blah. We're working with the Trump family and Trump media, yada, yada, yada. So
Now I have this is a Tether. It's got a video of Tether here. This is on the news. Check this out. So you got Tether up there. Tether, what are you doing? Leave that Trump. There.
what the?
They pissed, man.
Tether, leave that thing alone. That was a good song, huh?
No, it wasn't.
Pink Floyd, teacher, leave that. It wasn't? No. Teacher, leave them kids alone, man. All right. Anyway, so that's kind of how I'm seeing this thing. Are there any other angles you think people should keep in mind with this partnership? Is it more bullish for World Liberty Finance, Crypto.com? Well, what's kind of your spin on this? Any
I don't really care so much for World Liberty Finance. They're going to make their money. It's not like they have a token or anything. And it's just World Liberty Finance is like the crypto arm of Donald Trump, right? They're the ones that probably pulling the strings for all of their meme coins. They have a massive investment in both Bitcoin and particularly Ethereum. They are launching a stablecoin, and well, it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be very interesting these next 3.5 years or 4 years under Donald Trump administration. And here's the thing: like, what happens if JD Vance goes up for ends up he ends up winning the
presidency,
the nomination for the Republican nomination. Because we know Donald Trump can't run again.
Well, he said he wants to run again.
But
yeah,
JD Vance, you see, I don't know. I like Vance. So I wouldn't be surprised to see him in there. He's also very, very big, outspoken advocate for Bitcoin. And
he's also very memeable.
Yeah. And also, if he gets in office, as president after Donald Trump, I feel like he will still keep World Liberty Finance kind of plugged into the system, right? And so anything that's on World Liberty Finance, I think, unless there's a change over to Democrat as far as the next president, I think that we're going to get more and more growth out of World Liberty Finance. So I'd pay a very close attention to what they're doing, minus their Ethereum buys. And yeah,
you're hilarious, dude. You can't help yourself, can you? I saw you pop into my trading stream yesterday. Did you stay around towards the middle end? So I had a specific message for you in there.
Yeah,
you should go back and watch it. It was really good.
I think I might have missed it.
It was about Ethereum. Yeah, go back and watch it. It was very good. Okay, what else is very good? What's not very good is the likes. The likes are only 66, 259 people watching. Make sure to hit the like button, guys. Thank you to all the moderators for keeping the chat going. Appreciate every single one of you. Before we bring on our boy Magic, let's talk about some not magic. What's the opposite of magic?
Real life.
Real life. Bitcoin prices worst quarter in 6 years. Now, I think this number is incorrect as far as 6 years. I'm looking at this number. Bitcoin's quarterly returns, it's the worst since 2020. So that would put it at 5 years. So close enough.
Does that mean the bull market's over?
Bull market is not over. We've talked about, I understand the people that are saying the bull market is over and we're in a bear market. Like I can understand if you're only plugged into the fundamentals and the on-chain metrics. I get it. Like numbers scream that, but I like to take a more kind of rounded approach. I like to keep everything in mind. And what really sparked the bear market of 2022 was Terra Luna collapsing, right? We had meme coins collapse and Bitcoin's about to hit 90K. So.
Let me ask you, looking at that chart here.
Yes.
You got, what happened in 2017 and then what happened in 2019 as far as quarters?
It went up.
No, I mean, specifically.
Okay, so 2017, every quarter was green. 2019, the last half of the year was red.
How are you you're not good at associating okay.
What's your question, bro?
My question was, I thought you would easily see this identifiable metrics that's happening here again. In 2017, we had a very subpar growth, 11% growth in quarter one, followed by 123% quarter two. 2019, you had less than 10% growth in quarter one and 159% growth in quarter two. And what I'm saying here is that we have a subpar quarter one.
You literally have negative
growth. It is negative.
So the better comparison would be 2016. It would be 2020, where we saw
2016 doesn't matter, man. That's too old. That's like you're evaluating someone's free throw shot when they're in middle school.
We're a year
and
off.
You're talking about them at the finals.
2016 to 2017. My bad, dude.
12 months his free shot percentage.
No way we can compare.
In middle school was at 40%, but then during the playoffs, during states, it got up to 90%. Like, come on, bro. Completely different game in 2016. We're not even talking. It's not even the same asset. It's not even crypto. You know what it was? It was whatever the hell Elizabeth Warren was talking about. Back in the day. Used for money laundering. You couldn't argue there was more percentage of that.
She literally did that last year. What are you talking about? There
was more percentage of illegitimate transactions, but now it's a stable, respected asset.
Okay.
It's now a full-grown LeBron James, and not a.
What's wrong with you?
I just say that in recent times we've had subpar Q1s followed out by big booms in Q2, and that has happened in recent history, and I think it might happen again. And sure, 2016.
Thank you. Thank you, Rob.
8 years ago.
I cannot wait. Magic is joining us. Magic, how you doing, man? Thank God. What a perfect. It's like saved by the LED wall.
Something. Yeah. LeBron James. That was a nice throw out there.
What is that, bro? You pick LeBron?
The hairline on LeBron, though. I mean, which LeBron are we talking about? Which hairline LeBron?
That's a good point. Pre hair.
No, you're pulling up stats for LeBron James, and when he was at St. Mary's High School or the whatever.
Yeah, that's what got him drafted.
Yeah, it was what got him drafted. But we're not looking at those stats. Like we understood he was
I don't know
already.
About you, but I peaked in high school, so I think it's fair to use those stats. But all right,
Robin still hasn't peaked.
I actually homecoming king 2002, Granby High School in Norfolk, Virginia. Yeah. And so one of my finest accomplishments is what springboarded me to the ultimate success there where I am now.
Yes.
Take me into the man that I am now. So there.
Yes. Shooting peak. Anyways, Magic. Last week, I feel like it was a little more doom and gloom on the chart, at least for me, where I was perceiving the data on the chart for BTC. We're having a hard time holding 84K. What I saw yesterday was I rally up to that 89K, and then we came back and we held 86, which to me was a very important level. What are you seeing on the Bitcoin chart? What's kind of your thesis here? And I'll kind of let you take it away.
Sure. Bitcoin, it's very similar to last week. I know, not exciting, guys, but we're going to build off of what we did last week as well with those averages. Okay, so we're still looking at this. This is a pivot squared zone. As long as we're above this, my thesis is bull market's not over. However, anytime we go below this area and close this 80 to 83K, that's the criteria I'm looking for that doom and gloom scenario we talked about. And it becomes very real, at that point. Then I'm looking closer to like 48 to 50K. But until that occurs, it's not really something that we can call for, so to speak. Locally on Bitcoin, it is something that we've been looking for because you would expect a big bounce out of that area. Historically, that's a really good spot to be looking for positions. We were looking for something more on the low time frames. The timing on this has been a little bit, I wouldn't say sketch, but it's been, taking its sweet time, really maxing out the timing of something like this, where we're looking for a move up into that like 90 to 92K region, primarily because we want to fill in there's a nice NPOC here on the weekly, backed up by some dailies. So you have some leftover points of control up here. You have a nice harmonic pattern. It all kind of just points to, okay, you're at support. Where could this lead to? This is the most obvious area. And if you look how far outside of the quarterly range that we are as of right now, to start the year, speaking of quarterly, it would be a back test of the range. And that would be a pretty big inflection point where people are saying, when do you switch your thesis of, hey, this could be a 50-50 scenario and the top could already be in? Well, it's above this box. And I'm one of those people, I'm very objective. I don't just blindly buy something like this and say, it has to go up because we're in a Bitcoin cycle, and it has to because it has every other cycle. I'll say this is support. You only have one option at support. It's either do nothing or buy. Shorting here is not a good idea. But in that regard, this is the move we've been looking for. It's just kind of really taken its time. And this is going to determine a lot of how I look at the market going forward. And to build off of last week, this is a really good, I would say, exercise for anyone that, likes to do things on the high time frames. We've kind of been really hammering that drum here. If you're looking at things strictly through an average perspective, you were just talking about the quarterly. You have a 60-day and a monthly, right? We were talking about the monthly. We were saying this is your opening range monthly average at $87,700. Really need to see these averages continue to average above here because it's done that in every other prior consolidation. If you go back in time, again, they always seem to hold the average. You could go all the way back, where this one almost averaged below it, but it didn't quite make it. This was kind of your line in the sand from like a closing basis on a monthly schedule. Now there are things you can actually couple with that and say, okay, when should I be bullish and when should I be bearish? When can I start making those, targets for upside? You can add one more average to this and use them in conjunction with each other. So the white one that I've just added is a 60-day. Okay. So what you don't want to see is that when this 60-day opens up and the monthly opens up, you don't want to see the monthly, which is in orange here, below it. That's generally not a good sign. So you've seen that the averages are above. You see we opened up this 60-day here, your 30 days above you. You've opened up this 60-day here, your 30 days actually beneath you. Not a death sentence, but it certainly isn't a good look. And if you go back to every single major top, including all-time highs, this is the first thing that occurs before something like that happens, because these are 30 and 60-day time periods. So you've seen the closure and you've seen the open. It's not the best open, but it's not a doomsday. So we still need to see this hold on to about 87,700 on that incoming monthly pivot. It's a point in the bears, for the bears, if this opens and it's lower than 87,700. It's one of those things where that's just not a good look in terms of these high time frame averages that you work with. So you need to see Bitcoin rally to about 91.4, which isn't that far out of pocket with a week left. We know Bitcoin can do a lot of things, but that also puts you back above your last 60-day averages here. And if you look at this through the lens of where's my 60-day coming in now, my 60-day is right here at the monthly and will generate after this, meaning that we have time to pull that back above into this like 90 to 92K zone. And from there, realistically, my first target becomes the R1 of our quarterly, which is generating at the same time, which is all the way back up here near the all-time highs. So above this zone here is very good for Bitcoin. Below this box here, I start to incline that the bull market is over. And people don't like to hear that, but that's just the truth. So this is still very much so range bound to me. One thing I will bring up though, somebody brought it to my attention that the Hasherbin's buy signal has fired off. which we don't get many of those. I think there's been 20 or 23 or something like that in history, and almost all of them result in positive reactions in terms of like minor capitulation, things like that. So having known that's fired off, I believe it's Eric Crown that covers it a lot, but Charles Edwards is the creator of it. It's on Twitter. It would imply that if we revisit these lows, that we don't close below them. If you close below them, it invalidates it essentially. So a wick down here isn't the end of the world. It would actually be right in line with what you would expect, a wick into support, and it would be another opportunity. However, closures beneath there also would verify that closing beneath this pivot squared zone, that puts you in the mindset of, okay, maybe I need to shift priorities in terms of how I'm viewing the market and look for other areas of value. So for now, I'm pretty neutral still. I think we're going to challenge between 88 and 90. I don't think it's going to break through either one of these in the short term, to be quite upfront with you. If it did, my bias becomes much higher, to challenge these highs again, very similar to like a 2021-esque drop and then rally. So hopefully that makes sense. That's a lot to digest. It's a lot of info that just kind of vomits on there.
Thank you, Magic. We got some breaking news. If you're an XRP fan, it is officially over. So the only thing left for Ripple and the SEC was how much money will Ripple pay the SEC? The number was $125 million. But it looks like that they have agreed to drop all the appeals and them Ripple paying the SEC $50 million and retaining $75 million. This is what didn't I talk about this literally yesterday?
Yeah.
That 30 to 50 million bucks. And so that's it. Done. Over. I know a lot of it was kind of not technical jargon, but I don't know what the word I'm looking for is, but a lot of it was just these little things that they were waiting to kind of finalize and put to bed. That is all done and over. No more overhang of the SEC for XRP.
All ongoing litigation is over now. So that's it. So now anything regarding SEC, regarding Ripple is now put to bed. Are seeing a little breakout here on XRP. Maybe the first of something larger. I don't think so, but little push up went from $22.45 to $2.46, almost 47 cents. So
huge move, huge. Yeah, I thought that was gonna break out.
So straight 589.
Yeah, 589. It's going to $600, man. Magic, I know I'd asked you for Solana. Can we replace that with? Can we take a look at XRP in honor of the appeal being over?
Thank you, Dave.
Thanks.
You're welcome, Rook. Anything for you, my friend.
Thank you for converting.
I don't know. It is it did move from 244 to 246. Over 2 cents.
Hey.
Okay.
Huge. What am I going to do with all this money I just made? I got to like 700x leverage that thing, babe. Anyways, sorry, Magic. Go ahead.
No, you're fine. I'm actually looking for my Bitstamp XRP chart. There's much more history on Bitstamp than Bybit.
I got the 1 minute on my computer. I'm just looking.
There we go. This is the one that should be familiar to most of us here. We've covered this before. XRP is in a really unique situation where, to me, the chart resembled Bitcoin. If you guys recall from when it peaked in 2017, 18, and then made those lows and then came back to the like 14K zone. Very similar in terms of the lead up of this structure. Now that you're breaking, all you've done is come back and back tested it, which is good. So there's really no other option in terms of this, but to say, it's showing strength at the moment, unlike a lot of altcoins. This one looks good. You've come back to key critical support, which is your B leg or your, kind of like range high if you're looking at yearly candles anyway. And that was the support zone you wanted to see. It's just been constant buys. A lot of times good news with XRP, it does move, it seems like, with news catalysts quite well. But to me, when I'm looking at this one, I'm still targeting something like this, and it still has a measured time move anyway for the summer. So if it continued to consolidate here, as long as it's above $2, it's hard to be bearish on this one. You can't be bearish on this chart as long as it's holding these key levels. So to me, it still has room to run and make new highs within this rally, which would support the idea that Bitcoin is potentially, going to turn things around here as well and continue to hold the key levels it needs to. So until I see weakness in this chart, it's a dangerous game just to short things or to make biases just based off of a quick reaction. So this one, I still have targets between like 468 and 529 for the cycle. And I changed my mind below 196. So to me, XRP is, it's doing just fine.
So I shouldn't put in a 60x long leverage play here?
Well, I mean, if you were going to do that, you would probably do it on Ethereum.
Yes.
Just for Robin. But I stand by what I said about Ethereum. And this one will, I think, coincide with XRP, the two major movers. Same with like Solana. Bottoms never look good. The only bottom that's looked good was the XRP chart. That one looked obvious. It was very nice, very clean. Yeah. This one, yeah. But this one, this is an ugly one. This is one that if you can reclaim this box, you have the potential to have a 50% rally. Is that all-time highs for the asset? No, but another good one. So XRP really shining in comparison to some of the other tokens in this in the space right now.
Magic. I was talking about ETH yesterday. I think ETH is, in my opinion, one of the safest plays right now at the price it's at. And I kind of went into detail during the show yesterday, my kind of TA show, my trading show I do. And when you look at ETH, the 1750 was a level you wanted to pick it up at, but even at 2K, with the market share it holds over RWAs. It's just, to me, it's a no-brainer. Even if retail doesn't come back to the chain, even if NFTs don't come back, even if DEX volume drops. Seriously, everyone, that's your spin. Your spin is, well, no one's using it. Guess who is using it? People that are tokenizing funds. Those people are using it. Got 70% market share in that arena. And so to me, that's worth, that's worth a shot at ETH. So, anyways, I don't know if you want to stay on the ETH chart for a little bit longer, but I did want to do Chronos and ADA. If you can look at those real quick, if you can fit that into your schedule.
ADA,
we always keep
ADA's a good one too. That's all right. I got nothing going on. I'm pretty boring person out here in Kansas. There's not a lot. So I really want to be hyper bullish on this chart. But the monthly doesn't look good. That's not the end of the world. But when you were looking at this zone, this was realistically the area that I had been talking about when we made this move, that I wanted to get into this asset at the gold pocket around 60 cents. And you've got a nice key low here. It's an old monthly low that I'm probably going to have to adjust, even though it is kind of holding price down right now. But you really do need to see this get back right around above 76 cents for like immediate continuation. I don't think it would be terrible if it came back down to here, but if you start giving up this 59 to 68 cent zone, this like little support zone here, it's probably going to take out the low from 51 cents, and you'll see things like 35 and 44 again. It had such a good rally. I still kind of find it hard to believe that this one will retrace all of that, especially above 46. Yeah, I mean, ADA's at support. Is it the most beautiful looking thing you've seen in terms of how it's interacting with that support? No. But you don't really have anything that's saying it's going to go lower. So there's no real signs of weakness in the chart. They're potentially there, but it would take a drop in price. And so for me, I would look for this to try to reclaim, because the weekly doesn't look bad. This actually looks decent. You're coming into like a key, I would say midway point on the RSI. To put in some form of a bounce. And so next key level is 76 and then 94.5, sticking with the theme on that SFP right here from back in the day, remaining a very key level. I would say 94.5 cents above there. And you'll see this probably attempt to make a new high. So, that's kind of where I'm at on it, is that if this support holds, this is where you want to be loading up. If it doesn't hold, it's probably going to drop 10 to 20 cents. But in altcoins, I mean, that probably doesn't scare anyone at this point after this cycle. So
no, we built up so many calluses. We're kind of immune to it.
The pain is very real, and it's weird because some altcoins, in their own little like vacuum, kind of like XRP, are doing great. So
Yeah.
it is. I think Bitcoin dominance. This is another opinion I heard. I had a live stream in today from Crown, and it's something I think that anyone should be open to hearing. Is that I don't know that Bitcoin dominance is going to be as useful to us as it used to be, and the reason being is there's just so many, for lack of a better term, shit coins now that you're not going to be able to utilize it as a general market barometer like you used to, because if a large enough percentage of the capital into altcoins is in those 99% of shit coins that are pretty much just useless pump and dumps or whatever it is, now they're just bag holders, Bitcoin dominance, that rotation isn't going to really affect them or really occur. It's only going to be the select few strong ones, which could be like an ADA or Solana or Ethereum, XRP in this case, things like that. So, sorry, I'm looking for Kronos because I know I have a chart on it somewhere, but obviously I need to organize this at some point. So we'll just put in Kronos.
I'm like, I got this organized, and I look for it during the show, and it's like, damn it.
Everybody talking about XRP.
I know.
I mean, in my feed.
Yeah.
Next.
Crypto. And I believe this is on crypto.com. Yeah, this is always a really weird chart for me because of, this doesn't have all the info. I could swear there's a very strange pump before the dump here. This is from last cycle. Hang on, let me find one with slightly better, if possible. Would it be here? It is here. There it is. Yeah, the big sell-off, I guess, is there. This is a hard one to love. When I look at something like this locally, you've got higher lows in place. So even off of this most recent sell-off into 2024, these are not bad. You are making higher lows. So you realistically, just looking at the chart, not doing any real work, we could say that if we start losing 6.8 cents, that this is probably going to attempt to make a new all-time low. Just at a glance, because the overall trend is down, you're attempting to reverse that. And if you were to revert back to that trend, well, trends are trends until they're not. So off the rip, not a huge fan of the macro. Doesn't mean you can't make money on it, but this one would fall into the category like we just talked about with altcoins, where I say, 99% of them are probably trending to zero over time. Doesn't mean you can't make money in the short term. So looking at things through the quarterly chart, you can see this has been the major settle up for the all-time low. You've been trying to put in that proverbial higher low here, and a very clear area of resistance, not closing a single quarterly candle back above this local high. You can see you've just been SFPing it over and over. Man, I am trading view challenged today. There we go. 16 cents. You've got to have that. This is your current quarter open. But realistically, back above 16 cents on like a material closure, like a monthly at this point, because you've been up here enough, would probably get me bullish for this to at least try to take this high here, right around 23.35. And then it becomes a question of, can it rally back into, I would say, probably something like this range, which is very close to your previous all-time high, somewhere right here. And if you went out to like a weekly, I'm sure it would start to make sense. So yeah, above 16 cents, and you can challenge into this zone and kind of fill in this void. But looking at things in terms of how prices proceeded through this area, if you get there, it'll be a quick move, I imagine, probably a decent rejection, and then it may fill this area out a little bit between 16 and 33 cents, building more of a base, which would be much healthier than the alternative of just ripping and then dumping, the old pump and dump, if you will. But sometimes we don't get that. So to me, I would look for a back test of 16 cents, anything above that. And I do start to target as a potentially another 50 to 100% move up on an asset like this. So, but below 6 cents and yeah, not good. Not a good look below there. So
you hear that, Robin?
Terrible look, man. Terrible look.
It's not a good look, man. That's all I'm going to say is not to bash on anyone's bags or anything, but
Hey,
I wouldn't hold it.
We're all keen to our own opinions, right?
Magic. I'd hold that over ETH, bro.
He hates ETH. He hates ETH so much. He would rather have a homeless person in his house showering in his bathroom than hold Ethereum.
I will say this. I went on multiple X what are they called? The rooms. What are they called? Spaces. I went on
Spaces.
several.
When you say X, I thought you were talking about X.
His ex, yeah.
Yeah.
He's got like 2.
Went to my ex's house and she got me for all my ETH. No. So and it was during the ETF launch, and I was over here just beating the drum for buying ETH. And I was like, guys, like, pay attention. Like, you're gonna get similar price movement out of ETH like we did in Bitcoin. I can see that out of the ETF. Probably gonna have a little pullback, which it did.
Man scoring.
Never pulled. It's just been sideways for eternity, man.
You are.
And you know what? Bitcoin is just
You're scoring.
Bitcoin is just showing you. No,
okay, man.
don't touch me.
It's gonna be okay.
So it's just obvious that
You didn't do what you wanted it to do.
okay. Bitcoin,
It made you look bad.
Bitcoin and Ethereum were like high school buddies, right? They were like hanging out all the damn time. And one's went to law school. He's got a good job. The other one's still drinking, 12 packs, still having keggers at his house. He's 35 years old. Like, God, it's time to realize he ain't going nowhere in life. He might still be the fun guy to hang out with, but the dream is shipped. The dream is gone. The ship has sailed. And you know what?
Forget about it.
You know what it sounds like? It sounds like you were wrong. ETH didn't do what you wanted it to do.
But
ETH
learn
made
your,
you look.
learn your best lessons when you're
ETH
wrong.
made you look bad.
You learn your best lessons.
Now
when
you're
wrong.
mad.
Yeah, exactly.
I got to get Max on here to hang out with Robin because he hates ETH too. He's
Does
been
he?
trolling ETH. Oh, he hates ETH.
You know what? Why
He
don't we do
thinks it's
this?
slow and costly.
Why don't we do a host swap? You come on my show, Magic. Me and you will do a show, and then Rob and Max can do a show together. We'll see what the turnout is there. Magic, as always, man. Thank you so much for joining us. Always a pleasure to have you on. We're gonna prompt Magic's Discord link. Make sure to go join his Discord if you want more Magic Internet money. His business partner Max, which is an expert in open interest and also charting as well. And that community is awesome. Go join their Discord. Highly recommended. Magic, thank you as always, my friend. We'll see you next week, brother.
One thing.
Yes.
So next week is the end of March, and I had promised giving away like $260. I think is where we're at. 262 for
You've
some
been
cookies
trading
for
that
the
$100,
bottom.
huh? You degenerate, you.
I traded it twice, and then once it basically a little over doubled. I was like, all right, sweet. I'll just leave this in here, and whoever gets the drawing is gonna get the drawing. So I've got a list of names from people in my Discord that did and provided proof of purchase. If there's anyone in your Discord, grab it. We'll raffle it off, and someone will get $260 in USDT or Bitcoin or whatever they want.
Awesome. Will you do me a favor, Magic? I know you're in our Discord. Will you post that link again?
It's closed, but you can't buy them now. They've stopped selling them. Otherwise, I would.
Got it.
But if anyone did, I'll go in his Discord, make sure that you tag me, and be
Okay.
like, hey, get me in the drawing. We'll make sure it gets done, and then somebody will get a decent amount of cash.
That's not bad. If you would have
Yeah.
maybe upped your leverage, Magic, to 20, 30x leverage, wouldn't have been such a scaredy cat. You would have been at 1,000.
$30,000.
Hey, man.
It's
Thank
very
you,
true.
Magic. We
Very
appreciate you,
true.
brother.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, brother. Take care. All right. We have this piece of news. We talked about Michael Saylor prodigies. Well, what is a Michael thing, I guess, huh? Cooler has acquired 56 Bitcoin for $5 million at 88K, just like Saylor himself buying the top. You got to love it. But I don't know why that's so funny. Anyways, they are now holding 668 Bitcoin with their average price at 97.3. So it's we had MetaPlanet doing the same thing. Now MetaPlanet's an interesting one. They got a couple of Bitcoin guys that are advising them that are on their advisory board, and they had their shareholder meeting. And I don't think everyone was kind of dumbfounded. The amount of people that went to a shareholder meeting, there was a line to get in outside the door. And so you're seeing excitement around companies that are adopting the MicroStrategy strategy. And so I think we're going to see more, although this company might be not one you've heard of, or this might be a really small buy, but one of these days in the very, very near future, you're going to get a giant, a top 10 global company that is going to be doing this. And then you're going to wish you had more Bitcoin, or at least now you can look at it moving forward. Hey, I want more Bitcoin for that potential. On top of that, you have this. Oklahoma Strategic Bitcoin Reserve Bill has officially passed the House with this is more than a super majority. This is like a super duper majority. If passed in the Senate, the bill allows the state to invest 10% of their public funds in a Bitcoin or digital asset with a market cap of over $500 billion. So that's literally just Bitcoin, right? What else is over five? Just nothing, just Bitcoin. So Bitcoin, and if anything else gets to over 500 billion, maybe it's XRP, maybe it's Ethereum, probably will be Ethereum. But the beauty of it is a lot of these states, their revenue, and if you were to put their economy against the world, they would, some of them would rank in the top 10, in the top 25. And so you have these individual states that are looking to adopt a Bitcoin strategy or a Bitcoin reserve, and then the daddy of them all, which is the US government. This is all happening now. And so the time to sit here and say, I want to deploy capital or I want to hold on to my bags is now when all this has already happened. The news is announced. They've already made their purchases and you're looking at a $300,000 Bitcoin. That is not the time to buy Bitcoin and altcoins. The time is now when it's happening and it just hasn't reflected in the price yet. Any thoughts?
Which part? Because
What about Kulo?
You know, I find it very interesting. You said bought the top at 88,000, like that's an actual top. First of all,
It's a local top. Okay?
you're like they bought the top.
A local top.
I'm like, bro, it's 30. It's
Out of everything
20,
I said,
000,
that's
20
the one thing you decided to drop.
Yes, it is. It is definitely not the top. $20,000 away from the top, which we were just a month and a half ago. It's interesting you called it that. Hats off to Michael Moe, though. He's doing his thing. And then
Who's another famous Michael that runs a big company?
no idea.
Me either. So would you like to give some other input on some other things I talked about? Maybe what other companies? Maybe the states? Maybe this?
I didn't see
wise
this.
charity, which is you'll just leave your money to the human race, and everybody that believes what I believe, right? I believe in Satoshi and his vision, sovereignty, property rights, freedom, economic empowerment, economic immortality. I believe nobody should be able to steal your money. I believe you should get to keep it. And so if I believe that and I burn those keys, then I have made everybody in the network that much richer and more powerful forever. And they have the option to do the same, or maybe they'll use that power for good in a way that they deem to be appropriate. And you're like, well, who'd you give the most power to? I gave the most power to the person that believed the most what I believe, right? I mean, everybody has the choice to join the network with $1, $100, $1 million, $1 billion.
Let me ask you, man. You think Michael Saylor has a Bitcoin tattoo?
Yes. The question is where?
You think he does? No, I mean,
No, the guy doesn't. He doesn't have a single tattoo.
That's what I'm saying. But if he's gonna get one,
It's going to be Bitcoin.
I mean,
Again,
like,
the more intriguing question is where.
if he doesn't get a Bitcoin tattoo, I don't believe he's all in, man.
Is it a
You know
trend
what? It might just be.
Is it a foot
It might
tattoo?
be the longest con ever to pump your stock valuation up. And if he's really serious about it, I want to see the man with a tattoo, bro.
How about the guy
Like the
putting
guy from
billions
Terra?
of dollars in it?
And in turn, raising his company valuation by billions of dollars. Maybe,
Or in turn, taking a big risk and watching his company dwindle to zero.
This is just the biggest advertising ploy on planet
What do you want him to get
Earth.
the Bitcoin logo on his forehead?
No, I'm just saying that. Like, I'm just curious if he has a Bitcoin tattoo.
Do you have a Sin City crypto tattoo, Robin?
Uh-oh.
No, not yet.
Okay.
But
Shut your mouth.
A tattoo under the mouth,
Anyways,
the tongue,
tattoo on
the tongue.
lip tattoo.
There we go. Sincerity, SCC.
On the topic of the Bitcoin and, well, I don't know. Big win for crypto. This is from David Sachs, the crypto and AI Cesar. He said the FDIC is following the US OCC's lead in removing reputational risk as a factor in bank supervision. It's a big win for crypto. Reputational risk may sound good in theory, but it was defined as, quote, the potential that negative publicity regarding an institution's business practices, whether true or not, will cause a decline in the customer base, costly litigation, or revenue reductions. So what this means is the former FDIC chair had reputational risks on banks who did business with crypto. And they said, look, if your reputation is you service crypto and the public sees that as a risk and it becomes a reputational risk, and now people are like, I don't want to deal with that bank. I'm going to close it. I'm going to withdraw my money. It could be substantially bad for your bank. And we don't want that, so you shouldn't have anything to do with crypto. That's what it was. So it's pretty much BS. In practice, this vague and subjective criteria was used to justify the debanking of lawful crypto businesses through Operation Choke Point 2.0. Banking criteria should be objective and quantitative, not based on the potential for untrue stories. Thank you, Senator Tim Scott, for your leadership on the FIRM Act. RP?
Is there anything they're not unwinding?
Their tattoos.
No, I mean, honestly, is there anything you think is on the table for regulation?
That was there, that
I mean, I don't know. It seems like every single thing they dropped a lawsuit against Tether, the Tornado Cash thing,
Coinbase, Kraken,
yeah,
Ripple,
Binance.us,
staking into the
Binance.us is about to disappear. It's going to go back to Binance here for U.S. Users very shortly as well. That's I think supposed to happen this year.
They literally have reversed everything.
That's what I'm saying. It's is there anything that you think they'll keep? Or do you think they're just going to like make it just, hey, you know what? It's the wild, wild west out here. Not saying that I want any regulation. I'm just curiously I'm just thinking here, man. Like what is the trajectory for crypto in the US? I don't think there's any safeguards going to be put in place. I mean, I think at the end of the day,
The wild, wild west? Or what?
no, you know what I think is going to happen is you're going to get the pendulum swings, right? You went from essentially no regulation because crypto really wasn't legitimate. And then once it started to get legitimized, the regulation went too hard, too heavy, too fast. Everything was pretty much blacklisted, right? Outside of Bitcoin purchased on certain exchanges. And even then, those exchanges still got sued. Anyways, over regulation, I think that we don't need to even argue the fact that I think everyone's in agreement that crypto got overregulated, right?
Absolutely.
And now what you're seeing is an overcorrection, I think, in my opinion. I think
An overcorrection.
The reason I say that is because without any parameters, what's going to happen is that certain companies, maybe banks, companies, institutions, whatever it is going to take advantage of the public. And then what you're going to have is something is going to happen, some kind of catastrophe, some kind of collapse, some kind of big fraud or big scam comes out, and then everyone gets up in arms, and we sit in front of Congress, and next thing you know, it's congressional hearings on quote unquote whatever happens. And then they're like, we need to fix it. And then they come in and the pendulum swings back over again. I mean, it could be something as simple as banks, right? What if banks get into crypto and they're issuing out stable coins, and then, maybe a bank goes under and then FDIC doesn't insure the crypto, and then like people lose money. I'm just saying that like there could be some. You don't think that US based companies are going to launch crypto products and some of them will go under and hurt public? You think
already?
Yeah, but every time it happens when FTX happens, they had congressional hearings and we had 6 months of
the difference is the politicians are in the bank's pockets, bro, and the bank has the Fed to fall back on. So if anything, it's
but what I'm saying is that it's still going to crash the markets. It's still going to cause regulation to come in hot and heavy on the back end, right? In the same way that when the 2008 banking crisis happened, there was tons of hearings, banks went under, and then what ended up happening? We got a ton of laws afterwards and change in regulation, and it was, some of it was needed, some of it was opportune time for politicians to line their pockets, right, with new policies because people were scared of the banks. It ended up, the banks ended up dropping how much they needed to keep on hand at that point to barely nothing. Same thing with COVID, you know? And so, I don't know. I just look at this landscape as very simple. Overregulated to death. Now we have zero regulation, zero accountability. Do what you want. President, go launch a few meme coins. Cool. Oh, also, you have your own DeFi platform. You're going to launch your own stable coin. No conflict of interest here at all. Zero whatsoever. And, you know, it's like we sit here and we applaud and we stand up and we cheer for Donald Trump. At the same time, I mean, you were pretty damn pissed off when he launched his third meme coin, or Melania, and tanked all of Solana, which then in turn kind of gave the green light to Malay. He's like, oh, Donald Trump did it. Let me do it. And so be careful what you ask for. That's all I'm saying, because the biggest fraudsters in history are not in crypto. The biggest fraudsters in history are big business and government. I mean, look at Doge.
Sam Bankman-Fried was the biggest fraudster in history.
No, it was per what got caught on a, and then if you were to look at the price now, customers would have been whole at this point. And so was it really? I mean, maybe at that exact moment that it collapsed, the prices were down. Remember, you don't realize your profit or loss until you sell. And so the biggest fraud in history is, you know, look no further than here in the U.S. Doge and USAID, all those hundreds of billions of dollars going out to these new non-government organizations that are just pop up out of nowhere with a staff of 10 people with no track history, no accountability, just getting billions of dollars for what? And so that machine that created that printed that money, that machine is now able to operate in crypto with zero safeguards. Zero. There's no accountability. Nobody's going to get sued. The Donald Trump can launch 3 meme coins, technically 2, whatever, but if he can launch meme coins at no end, there's no accountability for anybody. And it's good for price right now, but be very careful, because banks, institutions, very powerful people with money will take advantage of this situation. They will offer products, and things will come unwinding at some point. And people are going to point the finger and say, we need more accountability. And then that over-regulation will start to come back, because there's none right now. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm not saying it's a good thing.
You just said. I'm just kidding. I said it when he launched his meme coin. I said, this is not good, because if the president of the United States does it, everyone else is going to do it.
Now, if the president launches his own stable coin and then incentivizes the exchanges to use it, and then next thing you know, they're doing cross-border payments, and at some point,
it's not a good look.
It's not a good look. But
look.
I mean, if that is what we see at face value, what's happening with companies behind the scenes?
Bone value, because it's underneath. Want to give a big thank you to today.
Zero bone value? How much weed did you smoke today?
Because you said face value, it's on the face, and then the bones are inside your body because you can't really see them at face value because you got to go in with an X-ray. Yeah, that deserved it. I'm not even going to give you crap for that, Rocco. That deserved it. Now, I want to give a big thank you to our sponsor. Please don't drop us after this joke. Legacy Academy, that app has been live. You can earn their LGCT token, which has been one of the better performing tokens, and you can earn it for free. I say this every single week, and I want to see you guys earning these damn tokens, and it's fun. It's exciting. You can learn about different things, whether it's personal health, finance, relationship, business, whatever you want to do. It's all in the app, and they're actually expanding to outside of just BNB. They're going to be going to VeChain, and there's another one. They haven't announced it yet. So join their Telegram. That link is in the description, and download their app. You won't be disappointed.
And our next sponsor is brought to you by Nature's Bounty, Calcium D3 Plus in gummy format. If you have osteoporosis or perhaps at bone value, you do not feel confident in the way that you speak.
Or just bad.
Take your
bad
caps.
test.
You know what's funny?
No.
Actually,
No.
I probably,
It's not funny. No, don't go there.
I probably should.
Don't go there.
If only you guys could see the shit that happens off camera. It's funny. All right. That'll do for the show today, guys. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Come and join me at 2 p.m. Pacific today. We'll be breaking down the charts. Do a TA show. It'll be fun. Also, we got a Hedera video coming out in a little bit later today, so make sure to check that out if you're an HBAR fan. With that being said, Rocco, got some things I got to do at home. Thank you all so much for tuning in. We appreciate every single one of you. Don't forget, our new start time in the morning is 10:30 a.m. Pacific, 1:30 p.m. Eastern. We'll see you back here tomorrow. Until then, peace.
Everybody know we here for entertainment and info. Gonna show you how to get that big dough. So every day stay tapped in for big facts, no capping. With Bitcoin, if you're in, then you win. We divide the pie with no fraction. It's Big Rob, David. I spit the game, but they gave it. Name the coin that's your favorite. I got dry powder, why save it? To the OGs, new beginners. Special shout out to the well members. Buy the dip, sell winners. Ain't really nothing you can tell sinners. Tune in for the latest.